ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Habitual Line Crosser. Okay, Knox wants to say hello. You want to say hi? Hop up here, come on. Okay. Knox right now, he may not be acting like it, but he currently has an infection that we're working on with him. With Demo Matt Levy. Oh my god. Hold on. I gotta read that again. What is up, everybody? Who said 51st state? I mean, I don't know. Did they touch the boats, guys? It has been a week. Between regular army stuff and like my own personal things going on, I have had no time. Like I'm just trying to squeak by. What is up, Travis? How you doing, buddy? Do the roar. The buff don't bluff. Everyone knows the buff doesn't fucking bluff. Where did those? There they are. With Demobat leaving YouTube, WWE Commissioner told me you have to reform your tag team with your YouTuber Habitually Destructive had a good run. Well, you know, I would have to say that if I was going to pick a new tag team, you know, I honestly, like, it's an easy pick to go for the Fat Electrician, but we already have Habitually Fat over on Pepperbox, which if you guys haven't seen that show, I love it so much. I love doing that show for you. I would probably have to say we'll go with Habitually Donut for Donut Operator, or Habitually Operator. I don't know. Donut Crosser? We'll have to figure that one out. Let the kid eat. 2025, the buff is forever. Of course, everyone knows that. What is going on? When's the last Army Day? I don't know yet. I tell you, you know, here's the thing. There's a lot of things that go on to get out of the military, and I'm going through my VA appointments, and don't get me wrong, I understand they're trying to figure out everything that's wrong, everything the Army screwed up, and, you know, pay me for my time and my effort, but today, I got to do behavioral health, and that was a 0 out of 10. Recommend that. You walk into the room, and the guy's pretty much, you know, obviously in kinder terms than this, and is like, hey, how about you tell me about the worst things you've ever experienced in the military? And I was like, that's... fuck. All right, 16 years. Let's go down the line. But we are getting there. Hockey game. I heard about the hockey game. It's on my list. Haven't had time yet. Feeling exhausted and neglected. Got any of them dark jokes? Let me see. Oh man, kind of put me on the spot here. I'm not prepared. No, I think that one's too overused. Like, you know, what's the difference between food and under communism and a joke told to somebody who's mentally handicapped? Nothing. They both don't get it. You know, we'll go with that. What is up? Hello. I'm new to your channel. Absolutely love your channel. Thank you so much, Delilah. I appreciate you being here. Hello from Little European Texas, the Polish. I have a special place in my heart for the Polish. I do actually have, we had some NCOs come through the school that I teach, and they gave me a Polish flag, which is really, I don't know where I put it, but it's really where I learned a lot about like how Poland is and how they operate. So that's when I really started gravitating towards Polish like laws and the way that they work and stuff. It's really good. Habitual Ballistics. I have actually never met Kentucky Ballistics, so it's funny. You know, I tell everybody, if you see me out in public, come say hi. Like that's the way I am. Like, doesn't matter who I'm with, doesn't matter what I'm doing, just come say hi, right? Like, because I want to interact with you. I want you to know that 100%. I want to interact with you. But at the first range day I went to down in San Antonio, Kentucky Ballistics was there. Matt Best was there. Tim Kennedy was there. The Undertaker was there. Goldberg was there. Chuck Liddell was there. By the way, Chuck Liddell wears a fanny pack most of the time. Am I going to talk shit? Never in a fucking million years. Nope, not doing that. There was also Junior Dos Santos or something. I'm not a big UFC guy. I'm sorry. He was very nice, very polite. Cauliflower ear tells me he could fucking kill me. So I'm like, cool, dude. But anyways, so I saw Kentucky Ballistics, and he was wearing his just stick a thumb in it shirt. And I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I bitched out. I totally was like, I'm going to go talk to him. I didn't. And then I had probably one of the worst interactions I've ever had with a creator. Not his fault. It was my fault. For those of you who know Crispy 11 Bravo, Crispy is a very nice guy. Super nice guy. I went up to him after the second range day and I was like, hey man, love your stuff. I really like, you're a good creator. I love your videos, man. You're really funny and I appreciate everything you've done. And he's like, oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And then my brain, like I got hit with a fucking neuralizer, just wiped. And I didn't know what else to say. So I stood there awkwardly, which felt like forever. It was probably like 3 seconds, but it felt like fucking forever. And then he started talking to somebody else and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go kill myself in my car. I'll see you later. Like I didn't say anything. I just like, okay. And I walked away. What the fuck? Guys, you gotta know I'm awkward as shit in person. I really am. I don't know how to word or people in person. I'm really, really bad at it. My favorite Pepperbox show is Ethan Gets Bullied. Dude, they won't leave me alone, man. And I texted, we saw those comments that says Ethan Gets Bullied. And I screenshotted a couple of them and I dropped them in the group chat we have. And they're like, well, now we have to keep it going. I was like, come on, guys. Like, can we rotate this shit? They're like, no, now it has to happen every single fucking time. And Rich is an amazing person. Angry Cops, I love Rich. Like, he is, what you see is what you get. Rich is not fake by any stretch of the imagination, right? When we're on kind of consensual together, he is the meanest fucking person in the world to me, which is why I know he, cares about me. Off stream, super nice guy. We talk to each other pretty often. Very, very, polite. We're cordial and everything like that. The second we're on that fucking show, he's like, I'm gonna fucking ruin Ethan's day. But Us Canucks made Caroline leave it eater worse. I heard about that. I didn't watch the hockey game. That's on me. I actually am a big fan of hockey. I just haven't had time. Unpopular opinion, Ukraine war needs to end so that we focus on China. They only have a small window between now and 2030 to reclaim. Yes and no. So I totally agree with you. China, of our adversaries, China is the bigger threat. Totally agree with you there. 100%. That being said, I also, from a tactical perspective, right? So let's look at it like setting up a patrol base, right? You assume the enemy is going to come from that direction. So you focus most of your fires in that direction. This is what's called weighted coverage when you're talking about employment guidelines. We also have defense in depth, and I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details. So this is what's called weighted coverage. But would you put all your eggs in that one basket? Or would you also have people covering the flanks? So that's kind of the way that I look at it from a tactical sense, is like, yes, absolutely. I would 100% agree with you that, like, if I were to weigh the threat of China versus Russia, China's way higher of a threat. Like, the world has seen that. But that doesn't mean that Russia is not a threat. Does that make sense? That's kind of where I'm at. I farted, just wanted everyone to know that. I hope it smelled delicious. Speaking of Kentucky, KFC, yeah, I heard that. Apparently they're moving KFC HQ down to Texas. Buff is comedy gold, dude, cracks me up. I created Grandpa Buff, like, kind of just like, all right, he's going to be an old timer who kind of has an attitude and stuff. And like, as that character has progressed, because I don't have like a definitive character every single time I make somebody. I do the character, I see what people like, I tailor things around that, and that helps me build the character overall. So it's a bit of a process. Like the F-18, originally I was going for like a Stone Cold Steve Austin thing, but he became something completely different. And so Grandpa Buff quickly became the quiet part out loud. That's the way Grandpa Buff became. And I love that character. Honestly, out of all the characters I do, I mean, you guys can see it from the amount of times he's used. I love using Grandpa Buff more than any other character. Because it's weird is I get away with him, like, or with things that he says more than I would like as just the United States using my regular voice. Grandpa Buff is like, I'll like think of a line and I'm like, man, I don't think I'll get away with that one. But Buff might, or Florida might. And like, that's how I develop these things, because I don't know if you haven't been here before, I don't write scripts. I can, and I have for certain other shows and things that I've worked on, but I don't write them. I have quick notes that I take down in my phone of stories and news stories, and if I want to elaborate on those stories, I go and read a couple of articles and I take a couple more notes, but realistically, everything is inside my head. I'm like, okay, this is, and I backwards plan. So like, I think of the final joke that I want, the final punchline. If you guys ever notice, like my videos are structured that way. Usually there's a joke right in the beginning. All right, Mrs. Line Crosser, she's like, keep up. She's yelling at me. I'll have a joke right in the beginning, a couple of jokes throughout, but the big joke, the big punchline is at the end. And that's how I structure them. So I usually start with the end and I backwards plan. Warrior Shaman made a new song, Gotta Get Your Japanese Character to React. It's literally called Don't Touch the Boats. You guys don't know this, but I've been working with Warrior Shaman on a separate project. It's actually an army project, so I kind of feel bad. But he's been a really good sport. Warrior Shaman's a good dude. We actually worked with him. So technically 2 projects, one army project and one that you guys will eventually see. And it's kind of goofy. Honestly, like it's a song. And it's a song that I did with a couple other creators months ago that we've been trying to get to work the right way. And, you know, fucking shout out to Warrior Shaman. He's been so patient with me because he knows I'm busy as shit. Dude is awesome. And so we sat down a couple days ago and went over, was it a couple days? It might have been Monday. Anyways, I don't know. And we went over everything in detail. And so that should be coming out soon. Hey, bro, I have a video idea for y'all on Habitually Fat where y'all check out Tombstone, Arizona. Went there recently. You know what's interesting, boss man, is my first wedding anniversary, my 1-year wedding anniversary, my wife and I went to Tombstone, Arizona. I wouldn't be opposed to Tombstone. But if I did Tombstone again, I would want to focus more on the history of Tombstone and less on like because we did all the touristy shit. Like we straight up like white people tourism. We had matching shirts and we went to a brewery together. I don't give a shit. Like that's, oh my God. Knox shit his pants. Oh my God. You're dying inside. You have a medical condition. Oh my God, dude. Holy shit. Oh, that's awful. Oh my fucking Lord. What is my opinion on Red Note? Honestly, so fuck. I gotta open a window, man. God damn, Knox. I can taste it. What did you eat, dude? No, don't come over here. Fuck. God damn it, Knox. All right, I'll pet you. Oh my God, dude. It's so bad in here. It is. I can't even take a breath, man. Oh. Okay, so my opinion on Red Note is, does Red Note have the capability to become a spy tool? Yes. But so does every social media that has ever existed. I just want you to know that. So I watched, so Ryan Macbeth, good friend of mine, he made a video explaining why he believes that TikTok is a spyware app. And there are some things that I agree with and some things that I disagree with. Spoiler alert, I don't know if you guys know this. You can disagree with somebody on some things and still be friends. Like Brandon Herrera and I have very different opinions on Ukraine, but I also respect his opinion as an individual because his opinion... Thank you! It's so bad. Mrs. Line Crosser always looking out. Is so bad. But his opinion is based off of his experiences, just like my opinion is based off of my experiences. I look at things through a tactical filter. He looks at things through more of a political or just a regular citizen filter. And that's okay. That is perfectly fine. That is okay. Like, this is the thing. There are some people in that video today, and I applaud you, who had reasonable disagreements with me, didn't just talk shit and were like, you know what, I disagree with your opinion, but I still think that, you know, it's valid to go ahead and say it. And that is, I love that. I love that. You know why I love that? Because I don't want anyone to blindly follow anybody, to include myself. I want you to question things. I want you to look at information and use your own morals and your own like moral compass to guide your thought process. And that is ultimately what I want out of this. Okay. So, but yeah, anyways, going back to TikTok. Oh my God.
Would you intercept me?
554. Thank you so much, my dude.
I'd intercept me.
Did you know the first webcam was created to film a coffee pot and the first live stream on the internet was the same coffee pot? It's called the Trojan Room coffee pot. All because they wanted to see how fresh the coffee.
Necessity is the mother of invention, or father of invention, fucking whatever of invention. It actually smells much better in here. Knox, that was awful, dude. It's like he got butt fucked by a garbage truck. That was so bad. Anyways, so he explained how TikTok could be used as a psychological weapon. He's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. However, everything he explained is something that advertisers and paying customers can do on every single social media site in existence. So, I agree. Can it be used as a psychological weapon? 100%. But so can every social media that has ever existed. So take it with a grain of salt. What is my opinion on tariffs and trade wars? I haven't dug into the tariffs yet, because for me, I always like, where did this start? Like that's the first thing. I always want to disprove myself and figure out where this started. By the way, spoiler alert, I really dug into the history of Palestine, Israel, and Hamas. I don't fucking know who it belongs to, okay? The more I read, the murkier it got. Technically, Judaism was there first, but Islam showed up at about 1,500 years ago, but they're technically both Semites, because Arabic and Hebrew are both based off of the Semitic language, which were Canaanites, which were the first people who went there. Like, it's so fucking murky. It is so, dude, I'm lost. It is. I tried to understand it. I was like, I want to understand this. No. I don't know who it belongs to. But anyways, tariffs and trade wars, I always want to go back to the beginning. Now, there are some, like, I agree the United States should impose tariffs on countries that impose tariffs on us. And it's real easy to say, well, Canada has tariffs on the US. Okay, however, what tariffs? What are they tariffing? Why are they tariffing it? Are we refining something for them and selling it back to them with a tariff already on it? Like, that's, my brain immediately goes, okay, I want to know why. And I tell you right now, folks, if you use why more often than you use, like, how, you'll go much further in life. The only reason I became a good air defender is because I asked why. Like, that's the thing. Like, they taught me we call it the monkey drill, where you know which buttons to push in which order, and you know which tabs to change, but I didn't know why. So I took it upon myself to dig in the doctrine, the -10, the TTPs, the tab packet, the TACSUP, the TSOP, like all that shit. I dug in there because I wanted to know what I was doing to the system and why it had that effect. Why will take you very far in life. I highly encourage it. Assuming it's legal, you have my vote for 2028. Well, I'm over the age of, what is the minimum age of a president? 20, or no, is it 30? Or is it 35?
Would you intercept me? I'd intercept
I gotta
me.
get caught up here.
Just
Oh my God.
saw the community chat you posted. Always be the authentic you. Your real friends will still be there. Love you, bud. Keep it up.
Thank you so much, Real Men Have Small Dogs. I hope I didn't
Would
miss
you
anything
intercept
there.
me? I'd intercept me.
Sorry I'm late to formation. Did you notice Alex from Sandbox News this week wore the kids Would You Intercept Me t-shirt on camera? Pretty cool. The
Alex
buff
is a good friend of mine,
timeless.
man. He is
The buff
great
is
people.
forever.
And the buff is forever. Absolutely. I'm going to have to scroll up in here because I got way too far behind. I started, oh my God, now that one's behind. So the last super chat I have is from Keletonai2nd. I hope I didn't miss any. I can't scroll up anymore on either screen. I'm so sorry. What is my job on the Abrams and how awesome was gunnery? And speaking of Poland, how's your pronunciation of kurwa? I learned that Polish pronounce W's as V's in the same way that Russia does. So kurwa. That's the best I got. I hope that's okay. Honestly, so when you're 19 kilo, you move between several positions depending on rank and experience. So first you're a driver, that's the low man on the totem pole. Then you're a loader because you're in charge of radios, layouts, maintenance, stuff like that. And then you're the gunner, and depending on the tank you're on, you can either be the TC or you're the high-ranking gunner, who is the tank commander for the lieutenant. I only ever made it to gunner, and I never did a gunnery as a gunner. I just did gunnery skills training, and I honestly, it was a phenomenal experience. It's unlike anything that I could, like, words. The English language does not have the words to describe what it feels like to operate an Abrams main battle tank. The first time I drove one, there was an aspen tree, probably 8 to 11 inches in diameter, and I was driving, and the tank commander was like, just keep going. I was like, hey, there's a tree in front of me. He's like, I know, keep going. Sergeant, should I avoid the tree? He's like, no, you're fine, just keep going. Okay? And the tree just came straight down. I didn't even feel it. Like, it's the weirdest thing when you're driving 72 tons, that has a 1,500 horsepower gas turbine, Honeywell 1,500. Like, it's just such a wild experience, man. It's so cool. It really is. A4 Skyhawk, third time asking, do it once. A4, okay, I will add the A4 Sky. I will try. I got to find a reason to use it. So If hypothetically, if I were able to make a new character for the series, what would it be? Honestly, I would love to bring in the Harrier. I don't know, number one, enough about the Harrier, nor do I know if I have a reason to use the Harrier. But there's a special place. I used to be a GTA fan, so there's a special place in my heart for the Harrier. I'm not a Marine, but I do like the Harrier. Help made the comment. I made the comment, Ukraine exists, Russia, and I took that personally. And now the comment, war undermine, which Prez is funding Putin. I saw that comment. I actually liked it. I apologize if I kind of threw you into the limelight for me liking it. Here's the thing, man. What people have to understand is in war, there's a whataboutism for everything. There is no such thing as a good guy in war. Now, we're taught historically the United States was the good guy in this war, the good guy in that war. And realistically, we did some awful shit too. War is ultimately about who is more awful to the other country, person, nation, fucking insurgency, whatever. That's ultimately what war is about. And it's terrible. Minimum age for president is 35, by the way. I'll be 35 next year. So, dude, I don't know how to help you there. Bryce Winders, thank you so much. All we need to do is glass a couple adversary capitals and everyone else will sit down, shut up, and do as we say. And honestly, there's some historical precedent to that. And like, as funny as it is, every time, like, I don't want wars. Let me just be very clear on that. I'm not a warmonger, never been a fan of war. I think that people should live in peace. I absolutely agree with that. But what I've learned from history is every time the US says it's not my problem, more blood is spilled than when the US goes, this is my problem and I'm going to solve it decisively. That's what history has shown me. I don't like it any more than the next person. I don't think we should have to do it. But usually when Uncle Sam takes the kid gloves off, the world chills out for like 5 to 10 years. And I hate that. I hate that so much. Good work, Knox. Mob 4 in effect. Bro, he's laying against the door with his nose just pressed to the bottom. People can have differing opinions. It's wild, right? Good work. Oh, sorry. I just read that. That was HLC going covert. Did you know the first webcam was... Oh, yes, I did get this one. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up, guys. No, Brandon... No, you and Brandon need to get in the political ring and scream at each other until you end game high blood pressure and stroke. It's funny, don't get me wrong, but I feel like politicians nowadays just, like, a lot of them do really nothing except for rile up their fan base. And I think that's wrong. You need to not rile up your fan base unless you're coming with logical facts. I also don't agree with party lines. Not a fan of it. Like, technically, I lean more conservative. Like, absolutely. There are great things that I genuinely believe President Trump and Doge is doing. Some, not all, of the budget cuts that we're doing, phenomenal. But I also think that the Doge thing is a two-sided coin. Conservatives do it, cool. Next time, liberals do it. And then conservatives do it, because guess what? The only people who can win at that is John Q. Public. If both sides are trying to cut the other one, guess what? We pay less taxes. Well, we lose less taxes, I guess. So it's a total win there. I think that his stern position in the Middle East is a good place to be in. We should not negotiate with terrorism like Hamas. So there are some good things. There are absolutely some good things. But I also want to call out bullshit when I genuinely believe that bullshit is happening. And I think that, and that's what sucks about, like, politicians, because, like, nothing you can do is right. And I feel bad for them, realistically. The president and everybody underneath him. Nothing you can do is right because somebody is either going to take it out of context or get fucking upset about it. So I always try and get my sources directly from the individual. And I really wish, like, I could sit down with some of these people. Like, I wrote President... Was it President Obama? Might have been President Obama. Could have been President Biden. And I wrote a letter. You can go to whitehouse.gov, and I wrote a letter, and I was, like, genuinely concerned. Like, can you please explain these things? Like, I'm not fully understanding, and I would like to hear it directly from you so I understand what's going on. Never got a response, and it is what it is. But, like, to me, that's what sucks about politicians being so far away and unreachable, is I want to know why they're making those decisions. And I totally agree with government transparency. So that's kind of where my brain's at on that. My cousin, oh man, did I lose it again? My cousin Blue B50 flew. There's an F there. My bad. Holy shit, I'm so sorry. My cousin flew B-52 and his dad was a crew chief for the same plane. That is fucking gangster. I would love, and I'm trying to convince Habitually Fat to go on over to Oshkosh for the air show, because I think that would be a phenomenal episode. I really do. Sorry, I'm late to formation. Oh yeah, and I read that one already. Dude, Alex is great people. He's a good dude. A4 Skyhawk appearance. Now I got to do research on the A4 Skyhawk. I got to figure out where we use it, how we use it, and if it's ever been in use, like, recently. Because if I have a reason to use it, I'm all for it.
Would you intercept
Nicholas,
me?
what is going on, my dude?
I'd intercept me.
Hello again, HLC. How was your week? Did you hear about the massive tidal wave coming from Washington containing mostly swamp water and BS?
Yes. Here's what I want John Q. Public to understand. When politicians are scared of where their funding is going, you win. Doesn't matter. Conservative, liberal, doesn't matter who it is. But when they're concerned about where their money is coming from, John Q. Public wins. So there's a checks and balances and everything, and I highly encourage checks and balances. Absolute power corrupts, and I can't remember who that quote is from. So I want people to make good decisions. But thank you so much for being here, Nicholas. My week was, God, it was a dumpster fire wrapped in like firecrackers behind a Planned Parenthood. It was a week, man. But I appreciate you being here. If you could sit down and have a beer together and pick the brain of any historical figure, who would you pick? Personally, would pick Glenn Curtis and listen to him talk shit on the Wright brothers. Ooh, that's a wonderful question. Sit down, have a beer, and pick their brain. I don't feel like I would fully understand. Like, everyone, the simple one is like, Einstein. But I feel like I wouldn't fully grasp what Einstein is trying to tell me. So my brain is I'm just bouncing through people here. Because, like, I know a lot of the answers I want to know of, like, why people felt that way. Because I try and read as much as I can. Gosh, man, that's tough, dude. There's so many people out there. Oh my God, like my brain, like I'm like MacArthur, Patton, fucking Custer, Washington, Roosevelt. Like, I'm bouncing all over. This is probably one of the toughest questions I've ever been asked on stream, man. God, this is kicking my ass. You know what? I'm going to take the high road here. Robin Williams. I think the world deserved more years with Robin Williams. I think that he brought a lot of light to this world. And, that needs to be addressed. HLC, it's me, the Chinesium boomstick guy. Just letting you know, and chat know, that I did not swish some buckshot mouthwash on February 14th. Just made a bad joke. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you decided not to do that, man. Honestly, like, the world is a better place with every single one of you in it. It doesn't matter how small your footprint is, how many. I guarantee somebody out there cares about you, and I want you to always remember that. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm not absolutely perfect. Like, I have my own, like, I'm dealing with like a crisis right now that no one teaches you how to deal with leaving the military. The military focuses so much, and I'm going to be totally transparent with you, they focus so much on making you feel important through NCOERs, awards, things like that. Like, I mean, realistically, like, we are. I was a TCA on the #1 asset for the defended asset list in CENTCOM. I trained a battery to deploy and go cover fucking Syria. Like, like, these are things that I did that were so huge. And while I have this phenomenal, you guys are phenomenal. I have this phenomenal social media following. Like, there's a part of me that is trying to come to terms with the fact that the time when I was probably most important and valuable are behind me. And no one teaches you about that. And it's the strangest thing, man. And so nobody is perfect, but the world is a better place with you in it. Remember that. Yo, HLC, did you hear about the SS United States departing Delaware? Yes, I heard about it. I saw a news article about it. When is it being sunk? I actually got to check that. I know the SS United States has been planned to be turned into a coral reef for a long time. A4 was the dang Blue Angel, a true ass stomper. All right, A4 Sky Raider. I will get on it. Let me look into it. I got to do some homework. Wolverine, seriously appreciate you doing the hard right instead of the easy wrong. My wife and I are proud fans. Thank you so much. Aximili, I think that's how you say that. I really appreciate that. Honestly, I was having a conversation with her.
Would you
Let's let this
intercept
go
me?
real quick and I'll finish that.
I'd intercept me.
Sorry, Immolate, I just got done boxing.
Bro. Okay, now I got to tell this story. I am an awful boxer. I am not a good boxer under any stretch of the imagination. How did I learn this? Don't worry. I will tell you. I'm a good grappler. Like, I'm decent at grappling. I'm shit at boxing. I've never been properly trained at boxing, but that's neither here nor there. I was doing combatives level 1 in 2016 while I was in UAE. Did good on the shrimp drills. I know, we're doing the clench drill, which is the final like test. A clench is just how you like hold somebody in certain positions so that they can't hurt you or themselves. That's ultimately what a clench drill is. And the last clinch drill, there's like 4 or 5 of them. The last one is closing the distance. And because the other ones, you start real close to somebody, like hands on, and you're already there, and that's how you start. The last one, you close the distance. This is where I learned I'm not a good boxer. I go to close the distance, and I got my hands up because I'm fucking smart, right? Keep your hands up. Now, the person you're trying to clinch is allowed to hit you in the face as hard as they can once, and hit you in the body as much as they want, as hard as they can. So this kid starts working my body, and I'm like, tensing up the core. I'm like, all right, we got this. I got to get this clinch because I'm not allowed to swing back. I have to clinch him. And I had a lapse in fucking judgment. I exhaled, and he hits me right in the fucking floating ribs, down low. Knocks the wind out of me. I take one of those, and I drop my right arm. He comboed my ass. Worked the body, and then as soon as I dropped my arm, wow, hit me with a fucking left cross, and douche. I remember my face went left. He didn't knock me out, and I looked back, and he wasn't there anymore. He had moved over, and I was like, fuck, that hurt. So that's when I learned I'm not a good boxer. I'm awful at boxing. So honestly, I will tell you, me and Mrs. Linecrosser, before that video went live today, because it went live on Pepperbox last night, and the comments on Pepperbox, some of them were very encouraging. I disagree with your opinion, but I respect you as an individual, and I'm okay with that. I totally understand that. And some of them were very negative. And Mrs. Linecrosser and I sat there and we talked, and she's like, you can pull the video and just make it a Pepperbox exclusive and not have the rest of the world see it. And I was like, I don't know. Like this is a moral dilemma for me. And after seeing the responses, I am so glad that I kept it going. I'm so absolutely glad. So it was a good time. I'm very, very glad you guys are here. I'm very glad. Oh man, Scoob, hey, how you doing, buddy?
Smells like bitch in this airspace.
I gotta get back up. All right, there we go. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. The only true effective message is peace through superior firepower. I challenge anyone to disprove me historically. You're not wrong. Like I said, every time the U.S. takes off the kid gloves, everyone chills out. After Operation Praying Mantis, Iran did not fuck around for like 10 years. 10 years. They just
Would you
didn't
intercept me?
Winner!
I'd intercept me.
I have been asked to ask you, what are your margarita day plans?
You say that as I'm drinking a margarita. Bro, this isn't a sponsorship. The Cutwater, I don't know if you guys know this. These are 12.5% alcohol by volume. They come in a 4-pack. I'm a lightweight. 2 of these, I feel great. I feel fucking wonderful. So you're talking about the 5th of May? Is that my margarita day plans? I don't know if that's margarita day. Warrior Shaman is in chat. Mrs. Linecrosser just said so. What does the Q and John Q Public stand for? Also, this is why I think we need to have mayors stronger than they are now. If you have an issue, get lunch with your mayor, talk with him or her, hear them out. You know, God bless, man. I totally agree with that. The downside, right? Like, I try and understand everything from every perspective. So, Jacob, I totally get it. And I agree. I wish we could do that. There are some crazy people out there, man. Like, I've had disagreements with politicians. There are some that I just, like, I don't really have an interest in speaking to you because there's so much wrong with the way you are. But I've never wished death on a politician, and some people out there are just not that way. So I totally understand that. Random, but I feel like the F-35 is closer to a Raptor based on how they operate. Love the channel. Tell Nox he's a good boy for me. Nox, you're a good boy. You stink, but you're a good boy. He's got an infection, so he had 3 masses removed from him. He had 1 on each leg and the 1 on his chest. And he doesn't know how to take anything easy, so he ripped open the ones on his chest, and luckily it had healed enough before he did that. So now every day I gotta roll him on his side, rub what is it, iodine or whatever in there, clean it all out, dry it out, and then I gotta put triple antibiotic ointment on it. I just did that right before I came up here and streamed. So I know a few places for habitually fat. One is Nellis Air Force Base up here in OKC. I haven't been up to Nellis. You have 45th Infantry Museum, and come stop by Tinker and see the McDonnell Douglas plant where the PC of Rosie the Riveteer was taken. The pick of, no shit, that was up at Tinker? I did not know that. That's cool as shit. Honestly. That is one of the coolest things I've ever heard. I didn't know that was up at Tinker. So we do have something in the works right now. I told you guys previously, like, I had everything is on the table right now. Everything is on the table. But it's a matter of getting me to places and getting Nick to places. Like, we're trying to get these things done, but his schedule is chaos. My schedule is chaos. So, like, I know once I'm out of the military, I will be able to at least do 1 or 2 a month. Like, that's my goal. If you were asked creating a radar-guided SHORAD system, what chassis, what missile, what radar? Crazy and practical example. Wonderful fucking question. Oh, man. God, man, hold on. Okay, missile right off the rip, I'm going to grab the HVM. The high-velocity missile from the United Kingdom, the Starstreak, without question. That is the best short-range air defense missile that I have seen. I love the Stinger. I'm not talking shit about the Stinger, but if you're like, you can have any one you want, I'm picking that one. I'm sorry. It's so much cooler. It can also be used for anti-tank. And plus, the HVM, I'm confident, like, if you had a Hind or something heavily armored, a Frogfoot or something in the air, that HVM would do better against that aircraft than the Stinger would. I love the Stinger. It's affordable. It's reliable. It's a good, solid missile, right? I'm never going to talk shit about it. But if I have the choice, picking the Starstreak. Starstreak from the British, I would probably say... Radar would be from Raytheon. You know, simple phased array, nothing crazy. But I would have the radar in a separate chassis, a separate vehicle. The reason why you want to separate those is it's easy to follow radar signature back. So you want the launchers offset so the launchers can at least get a shot out before the radar gets hit. I'm kind of torn between the Abrams chassis because it's a powerhouse. It takes a good punishment. So does the Bradley. The Bradley, in my opinion, is just too tall of a chassis. Easy to silhouette yourself. But I'm kind of torn between those and, believe it or not, the Merkava. And the reason why I picked the Merkava is the rear door entry and the amount of firepower that the Merkava can carry. And the Merkava is a relatively robust tank. What chassis, what missile, what radar? And the radar... Honestly, the Sentinel's a solid fucking radar. It really is. The Sentinel's a good radar. It's reliable. It's capable. It's a good, solid radar. Howdy from Comanche, Oklahoma. What is up, my dude? Heard of cherry blossoms at night? I have not heard of cherry blossoms at night. You may not be as important to the military as before, but you are now more important to your wife and the guys at Unsub. You are replaceable in the military, but you are irreplaceable to your friends and family. Asklor, I agree with you. I do. And it's the weirdest, like, you know, paradigm of man or whatever the hell it's called. I know I have all this going for me, and I'm so incredibly thankful because I know on top of like creating good content, it's also an incredible amount of luck to be where I'm at. Like I totally get that. But I also understand like it's the weird, parallel. No one's life is on the line when it comes to this stuff. And maybe it's a lot of old vets. I will always wonder if something pops off, right? Like, let's say we go to war tomorrow. I always wonder if something inside my head wasn't shared with the next generation, and it's going to cost lives. Like, and maybe I feel like that's a lot of vets. I really feel like that's a lot of the guys out there who've previously served. So I hope I'm not alone in that. It's hard to walk away. It really is. You should look up the Corsair versus MiG. I love the F4U Corsair. It is my favorite aircraft of all time. I have a model right back there. I fucking love the F4U Corsair. Not because it was a phenomenal plane. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a phenomenal plane. But because America was throwing supercharged, or maybe turbocharged, I don't know, fucking prop aircraft at jets and holding their own. I love a good punching up story. I fucking love that shit. I'm familiar with that, Bryce. Your most important time is always now. It was important then, but now is always the most important. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow is not a sure thing. You're not wrong, T-Bone. And honestly, you guys help, continue that, that feeling of importance, so to speak. Like I feel so like everything in the military, for those of you who haven't served, everything in the military is based off of necessity. We have to do this. We have to complete this EDRI. We have to deploy. We have to do railhead. Like it's always have to. And it creates a lot of purpose because like as an NCO, we operate. So officers make the intent. Hey, our goal is to deploy. Cool. NCOs operate in the gray area. For those of you who are not in the military, NCO stands for non-commissioned officer. We are the absolute carriers of any fucking organization in any branch. In the Army, we're the backbone of the Army, right? We operate in that gray area between where we are and where we need to be. That is our fucking home. Our worth is entirely based off of how much we get done. That's it. So I will say, like, you guys coming and watching my videos and giving me feedback and talking with me and stuff like that, it really does instill that sense of purpose. Like, beyond any reasonable doubt, it gives me that sense of purpose. And I can never thank you enough for that, all of you. When I left the Army in 2012, I felt the same. 12 years as a civilian, my perspective changed. And for me, seeing the Army from a civilian perspective, I can say I have questions on why we go to war post Kabul. Bro, that whole thing in Afghanistan, I feel bad for my wife because my wife met me after years after Afghanistan. And I would love, she doesn't even know like everything I experienced over there, and that's okay, right? Like she doesn't need to know every single detail, and that's perfectly fine. But when we pulled out of Afghanistan and I watched Kabul fall, and then I watched the Marines go back in there and I watched them get hit, and then I watched them, drag their wounded and dead out and try and get as many people out as humanly possible. And then I participated in Operation Afghan Welcome. They sent me to Fort Pickett, Virginia to do it. She checked on me. She always checks on me. That woman she's the best player on my team. She is my MVP. And I remember saying the exact words. I said, I now have a deeper understanding for Vietnam vets than I ever thought I would. That's how I felt. And I love all vets. I respect all vets. We all did our fucking job. It doesn't matter if you were moving supplies or you were slinging lead. It doesn't fucking matter, right? Like that's the way that I work. And but I have a special place in my heart for Vietnam vets because they came back being treated like shit and they made it better for the next generation. Like I love the greatest generation, World War II. Fucking love those guys. Don't get me wrong. But Vietnam vets will always have a special place in my heart because instead of turning negative and being like lashing out, they made everything better for the next generation. Like, and I will never be able to thank them enough for that. So like that's kind of the way that I looked at everything. HLC, what do you think could be the best weapon for a military, both in terms of pure performance and logistics? The best like if I was going to pick a singular weapon system, Arleigh Burke class destroyer. And the reason why I pick that is because it can go long periods of time with limited sustainability. It's relatively self-sufficient. A carrier is a good system. Don't get me wrong. A carrier is a great system and can go for long periods of time because of the reactors. Problem is, it needs food to feed people, and it needs protection. And Arleigh Burke, on the other hand, can protect itself. And Arleigh Burke can also strike deep into enemy territory with tomahawks and all sorts of other shit. So I would say, like, if you were going to pick a singular weapon system, an Arleigh Burke class destroyer. So that's if I had to pick a singular weapon system.
Would you intercept me?
Ooh,
I'd intercept me.
Taking the person's name out of the conversation and looking at it objectively, why do you think so many Americans support someone who is shown to be a Russian asset, to follow the same playbook Hitler did to gain power and is taking us to World War III?
That's... Honestly, J-Dad, I'm going to just say J-Dad. I don't... There are some serious parallels I can draw with potentially entering World War II. There are absolutely some parallels. And I think that that individual being elected is realistically a litmus test. And it shows that the United States is really tired of the bureaucratic politicians. So we would chance a lot to be able to break free of that. I really... So that's kind of the way that I look at it, JD. And I appreciate the question, man. I know Wolfram is trying in here. You Nick should check out Battleship Cove. I would love to. In Fall River, Mass. I don't know how I feel about mass holes, but we'll try and get there. They have the destroyer Kennedy, sub Lionfish, and the battleship Massachusetts. The last battleship afloat to get in a shootout with another battleship. Seriously? I thought that was the New Jersey, but I could be wrong. I don't know everything about everything. I will actively accept when I'm wrong. Don't place your worth on a job. You're better than that. You have Mrs. Linecrosser pull your head out of your ass and live for you and those you love. And I'm learning that every day, Mario. I really am. It's a weird feeling that no one really talks about. Like, people always say, like, oh, getting out of the military is tough. But they always talk about, like, the financial responsibility. You got to get a new job. You got to get into these things. But no one, like, I talked to Eli. Eli is, like, yes, Eli's a goofball, but Eli is hands down one of the smartest and most genuine people you will ever meet. Like, Eli is a phenomenal human being. And honestly, I'm so incredibly thankful that I have him in my life. And after we had that unsub episode where I decided to walk away from the military, I remember I have a wall here in my house of my accolades. My MSMs, RCOMs, AAMs, fucking, PCS awards, all sorts of shit. And I remember I was walking past that and I had a feeling like, what did I do this for? Like, I sacrificed years of my life. I beat myself into the ground. I lacked sleep. I did all this shit for what? For a plaque that cost him $100? And I talked to Eli about it and he's like, don't think about it like that, man. He's like, think about the people you were in charge of. And that's when I looked at that wall a little bit differently. He's like, you gave your all for the guys you cared about. And I remember, like, I've always had a very, I guess, war mentality. Like, I'm a tactician at heart. I've always been a tactician. That's just always the way my brain is work. I'm a huge fan of real-time strategy, been a chess player since I was a kid. Like, I'm a huge tactician. And I remember looking at those awards and I went through and I was like, that has tactical significance on the battlefield. That has tactical significance on the battlefield. That. And when I looked at it that way, it completely changed the way that I looked at those awards. And I can never thank Eli enough for that. Another place you should check out is the Pima Aerospace Museum. Absolutely. I do also want to check out something Ohio. Dalton, Ohio? Starts with a D, I think. The Air Force Museum. That is high on my list. As well as the Mighty Mo, the USS Arizona, and the Pearl Harbor Museum. And now here's the thing. If Habitually Fat goes overseas, which I would fucking love, by the way, I would love to do like Dachau, Auschwitz-Birkenau, Treblinka, the Ardennes. Like I would love to do those. Go to the Eagle's Nest. But I realized that part of our job for me and Nick during those times is to make people laugh. And me, morally, in good conscience, I could not ever make jokes at a concentration camp. I couldn't ever make
Would
jokes
you intercept
on
me?
the USS Arizona.
I'd intercept me.
Not to hijack the stream, but let's not bring politics in the stream.
Thank you very much, Wither. I appreciate it, homie. Have you ever been to the Redstone Arsenal? Yes. Well, kinda. I was nearby there. I can say that. I did some nearby work with Northrop Grumman years ago. I went and checked out the Space Museum you guys got there. Did you know? I don't know if you guys know this. If you're in Huntsville, Alabama, please go check it out. Their Space Museum they have there, they have two complete Saturn V rockets. One is outside standing up, and one is inside on its side. Fucking cool as hell, by the way. And when I went there, they had actually some of the engineers that worked on the Saturn V. And my tism was tickled because they're standing underneath the boosters. And I was like, how much fuel does it burn? How fast does it go? Like, and they were like, oh yeah, it was like 40,000 horsepower. And it drank like 6,000 gallons a minute. I was just like, this is the coolest shit I have ever seen in my fucking life. It was super cool. Feasible, get a Fat Files video on it. Redstone, I don't know. I will reach out to my buddy Nick. Merkava is built around a crew survival. Merkava is a very robust tank. It's a good. G'day. I gotta read it in the Australian accent. G'day, HLC. Been shedding quite a few pound, Uncle Tears this morning. Last time I mentioned him until he graduates. My nephew has his passing out parade. He's now an officer cadet in the RAAF. There's probably no reason I should have read that way, but I did anyways. Hey, congratulations to your nephew, man. Rob, tell him I wish him all the best in his future endeavors. What I would tell him, and this is my advice I give to any officer that enlists, listen to your NCOs. Let me finish. There's always those that like, some NCOs are retarded. Absolutely. Listen to your NCOs because the ones that are stupid are going to let you know they're stupid very, very quickly. And the ones that are intelligent are going to be the ones you rely on. Oh, man. Oh, it jumped down again. I hate it when it does that. I'm trying to keep up, guys. I really am. God, y'all are all over the place. We got 1,100 people in here? Oh, man, I'm trying to stay up on top of this. Currently, Tom Gross is live streaming till he raises 1 million for children of fallen patriots. Currently at 5 days. No shit. Make sure you guys go check that out. I would never tell, like, someone who's raising money for somebody else. Honestly, I do this to communicate with you guys. Bullets don't fly without supply. You're not wrong. Like, it's a pogue thing to say, and I get that, but it's not wrong. Like, it's absolutely accurate. Can your TISM explain what phased array radar is and how it differs from monopulse Doppler? Sorry, I'm artillery, not air defense. Great question, honestly. So Doppler, at least this is the way I understand it, okay? And I'm not perfect about everything. So phased array radar is a radar that is entirely based off of the premise of computer or digital steerable beams. Digitally steerable beams. So a phased array radar, so like Patriot, right? If you look at the face of a Patriot radar, it's got all these little tiny dots. Those are elements. Now, each of those elements pump out a lot of pencil beams every second. That Patriot radar is just pumping out millions of them every second. And because they're digitally steerable, you can make sure you're not pumping a bunch of radiation into the ground, and you can move it up. And they also get a little bit higher fidelity, especially based off of the, bandwidth and power and a lot of those different things. Now, I'm not familiar with a monopulse Doppler, but a Doppler is more of a wave. It pushes out, like, you ever see the ones like on the screens that spin in a circle? Some of those are Doppler, some of those are phased array, but the monopulse Doppler, it pushes out like more of a singular wave and then waits for a return. Singular wave, waits for a return, which works really good for like air traffic control, but low visibility or potential threats, its fidelity is incredibly low. Now, the way that I explain fidelity is more of a like a resolution on a photo. So when I say I have a high fidelity radar, that's like a 4K picture. When I say I have a low fidelity radar, that's like a 144p picture. You know, it's like the little wind-up cameras back in the day. Can it see it? Yes, absolutely. Just not very clearly, not very well. Does that make sense? Laudatism phobia. I'm trying to stay on top of it, guys. Pepperbox idea. 91 start treaty. Buff would go dirty. B-52 boneyard. And now they decommission them. I gotta look into the START treaty. I don't know as much about it as I would like to before I speak on it, because Ukraine was part of the START treaty and they had denuclearized. The US recently pulled out of the START treaty. I don't know why we pulled out of it, who it was signed with, what the requirements of the treaty were. Like, I wish I had more information. Why don't I do a video on the C-130J really came to be? I do have a C-130J character, the Ghost Rider. That should be the Ghost Rider. I do have that character, and I play it more as a, what's his name? Who the hell is it? You know, do you feel lucky, punk? That guy. Fuck. Clint Eastwood. There you go. Clint Eastwood. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We may do like a habitual HLC state of mind about it, about the C-130J, because I do like doing history. I just recorded my next HLC state of mind. And it's like I try and outdo myself every single time. It's like because it's Pepperbox and it's 18 and up, I can say whatever I want. So Buff kind of loses his shit. That was fun. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to taking that on. All right, I was speaking of the standard service weapon like M4, Garand, 416, FAMAS, the gun most privates will use on the ground. Okay, if I was going to pick one of those, okay. That's a wonderful question. I'm not a gun guy. Like, I know enough about guns, but I'm not super into guns. An AR, M4 or something like that is it's not as reliable as the AK, but it is more accurate than the AK. And its rounds are smaller and lighter, and you know, you could probably carry more of them, which I also take into account with logistics. The AK I take into like its ability to be robust into logistics. You can clean it with a fucking shoestring and it'll keep firing. So God, that's a tough one. Honestly, AK. Just cost, ease of use, ease of finding parts, ease of cleaning. Like, there's so many things that go AK. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I have a choice and I have the logistics support, I'm picking an M4 all day long. But I don't know. It's hard. Weather Drew, thank you so much, my dude. What is my opinion on trade wars and tariffs? I wish I had like more information on the every country. Okay, so every country wants their tariffs and their trade to be good. They want good cost. They want and right now we're seeing a lot of reciprocal tariffs. I don't know if that's the right word. Like, people doing tariffs out of spite, ultimately. So if you're doing tariffs because that product is selling for so cheap that they're making money hand over fist, like an 80% fucking profit ratio, and you're getting screwed on that, impose a tariff. But if you're doing it out of spite to get somebody else to do something, I morally disagree with that, but I'm also not I'm not a multi-billionaire. Hell, I'm barely a thousandaire. Wesley, thank you so much, my dude. Not to hijack stream. Oh yeah, there we go. I should play Hearts of Iron 4. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up, guys. Lately I've been playing Craftopia because I need something to zen me out. And if you've never played Craftopia on Steam, it's Breath of the Wild survival. I have no idea how they haven't been sued by Nintendo. No clue how Nintendo hasn't sued those people. Literally, the enemies are from Breath of the Wild. The weapons look like Breath of the Wild. The characters, Breath of the Wild. The music, Breath of the Wild. Like, everything is Breath of the Wild. So I have no idea how they haven't been sued, but it's been kind of my zen lately. Speaking of real-time strategy, you always think we'll see a Tesla weaponry Command and Conquer. Kind of. We do have in the United States Army, it's coming online. I don't know if they have a fully fielded version yet, but we do have HPM, or high-powered microwave. And high-powered microwave has been shown to really do a good job when it comes to drone swarms. Like, they're like, we don't use it against individual drones, but large numbers of them, absolutely, we fucking crush them. Have Brandon work me up a Dragunov clone? I did text Brandon earlier this week. There's something I would like to do with him, and I was like, hey man, I don't know the next time I'll be in San Antonio, but can we do this? And he was like, look, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint because I'm going to tell you his exact response. I have some World War I weaponry. I think we can do this. I'm going to just leave it at that. I don't want to explain what we were going to go over. I don't want to explain why, but there are some things I would like to do, and Brandon has the means and capability to do it. And I fucking cherish Brandon Herrera for that. Brandon is an amazing human. Honestly, he's one of the nicest people I've ever fucking met. Even, like, here's the thing. So him and Tony, they even disagree with each other, but him and Tony, like, after the election was over, they sat down, they had a conversation. Like, they're both adults, and they both know, like, they both want what's best for Texas and their county that they're in. And I love that. I fucking love that about the guy. He's not afraid to go to the table with anybody and have those hard conversations. Brandon is one of the most genuine humans you'll ever meet in your entire life. Like, honestly, the entire Unsub crew, I'm so happy I met them. The only one that, like, is a little, I wouldn't say he's a little anything. Cody is a fucking hoot, but I haven't, like, done work individually with Cody. I've done work individually, like, with Brandon. I've done with Eli. I've done with Nick. I've never worked individually with Cody, which is really surprising considering before I met the Unsub guys, the only one I was really a fanboy of was Cody. Which is super funny, and maybe that's why I haven't done any individual work with. Well, I guess no, I did Let Him Cook. I was on an episode of Let Him Cook. Super puppy, don't touch our boats. Protocol 4. It is time for Protocol 4. Let me see if I can do it quietly. We're gonna just grab these. I'm gonna keep the noise nice and loud so they don't hear the bag. I want you guys to see it in real time. Yeah, there it is. All right. Want to speak? Speak. All right, good boy. Rain, sit. You guys can't see it, but she did. Good girl, Miss Rain. We got about 30 minutes until our special guest comes on. 2015, medically retired, definitely a shock. Had friends who I deployed with who couldn't deal with 22 a day. Military trains you for everything but that. Take one day at a time, stay connected. Honestly, Axe, I like, I'm so glad, like, a lot of my friends that I was in Afghanistan with are out of the military now, and they're going to be some, like, group of people that I rely on when I'm out. Like, absolutely, 100%. I don't like the fact that we're turning our back on Ukraine. On the other hand, if there's a way to make peace, we gave them our word. What do you think? I'm kind of in the same position as you. I have a moral obligation to ceding anything to Russia. However, if it can stop the death of people and it's done amicably and reasonable for both, I think it should happen. Absolutely, it should fucking happen. 100%. 100,000 fucking percent. My husband works for Redstone NASA. That's gangster. Would you do a video in Poland? Would like HLC to do a video in Poland. Would love to do a video in Poland. I also have to get a passport. I don't have, like, I have a military one. I don't have a civilian one. When I get a chance, USS Turner Joy was turned into a museum ship on Bremerton. If you're familiar with the history, it's a great destroyer to tour. I'm not familiar with the USS Turner Joy. I'm very unfamiliar with that. Now there's something my TISM is going to tickle with. HLC getting clearance in his head. Trying. What has been some of your favorite RTS games? Did you ever enjoy World of Conflict? With your tactician mindset, have been curious. I love Command and Conquer. Always been a fan of those. Age of Empires, really good series. I'm gonna do a throwback here. I would like to know in chat if you're familiar with this, because not many people are. Also, side note, you can download a free copy of these on the internet right now. Empire Battle for Dune. Anybody? I'm going to watch the chat real quick. I want to see if anyone is familiar with Empire Battle for Dune. That was one of my favorite RTS games, aside from Yuri's Revenge. Red Alert 3, to each their own. I liked Red Alert 2. A bunch of people, yes, no, oh, yes. Never heard of Empire Battle. Oh, dude, Empire Battle for Dune, you can download a free copy of it. There was, when you play as Atreides, I want to say it was Atreides, you'd have these like floating gun turrets, and I would just put them all around my base, and as enemies approach, they would just light everything up. It was so OP. So fucking broken. Have you ever visited Patriots Point in Charleston, South Carolina? I have not. What has been, oh, sorry, we just read that one. Oh my God, it did that again where it just jumps down. I'm trying to keep up. And I'm all the way back at the top. I hope I didn't miss anything, guys. I'm trying to stay on top of it. Hello, hope you had a good day. My dad and I love your content. Keep doing what you do. I had Franklin.
Would you intercept me?
Let the kid have some fun.
I'd intercept me.
As your non-FBI agent, I can possibly get you clearance. But I must go. My people need me.
Wither, thank you so much for being here, man. It's always good to have you. Always hang around, man. You're good people. Also, Wither, if we're ever in the same location one more time and you don't come up and say hello, I'm going to give you a wedgie with your own balls. It's happening, Wither. I swear to God. Age of Empires 4, I used to play that one. I still have that one. It's on my Steam. Hope I had a good day. Your dad and you love my content. Keep doing what you do. I hand Franklin the keys to Hanger. Let the kid have some fun.
It's about goddamn time.
Again, when the F-22 finally goes out and does his job, it's going to happen eventually. Like, we have to. Like, there's no reason we put that much money into a toy without using it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Uncle Sam doesn't work that way. I digress. There are actually some that we've done that too. I just hope that I can deliver a product that makes everybody happy. StarCraft? Oh, dude, StarCraft is throwback, man. Throwback with StarCraft. Have I ever seen Australian-made AC-1 Sentinel cast iron tank? Must have been designed in winter. The AC-1? No, I've not seen that, Rob. May have to check that out. Reposting is in chat. Talk to your junior enlisted. 100%. Soldiers will let you know what the hell is going on. So one of the things, for anyone in here who's a leader in the military or a prospective leader, this is something I used to do. And when my chain of command, my commander and my first sergeant tried to mandate this, I pushed back. I was like, you will not make something I do out of the kindness of my heart to build a more cohesive and effective platoon mandatory. That's what's wrong with the Army. Every time someone does something that somebody else likes, they make it mandatory for everybody else. Leadership is not a fucking, it's not a blueprint. Everyone leads a little bit different way. So every month I used to sit down with my E4 and below, and I would say, all right, what are your gripes? And they would give me their gripes. And a lot of them I couldn't affect. There's nothing I could do about it. Oh, the chow food sucks. Like, bro, there's nothing I could do there. Like, chow food's going to suck. But then they would be like, we would like a printer in here in the computer lab so we can get our online training done. That's something I can change. Hey, our logins don't work for these computers. I can fix that. Hey, we're having pay issues, which I didn't know about until I started doing those fucking meetings. My squad leaders, God bless them, they were trying to handle it on their own, but no one was listening. So I called finance every fucking day for like 3 months until all that shit got solved. But that's my job as a platoon sergeant. And then right after that, I would sit down with my NCOs and say, what are your gripes? And I would let them straight up bitch at me. Hey, I don't like how you did this. You undermined me here, blah, 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 blah. And I would affect change for them. And you know what I figured out is if you affect change for the Joes because they're giving you feedback, and then you affect change for the NCOs because you're giving them feedback, they work harder for you. They absolutely fucking work their ass off for you. So that was just something I did. My chain of command was like, that's amazing. We're going to make all platoon sergeants do this. And I said, don't you fucking dare. This is something I do with my guys, and you will not mandate it. I refuse to let you fucking mandate that. So yeah. Someone said, fuck finance. Think about leaving the military this way, because you did what you did, sacrificed and all of it. I live free. I was kept safe, and you and others did that. Thank you will never be enough. Honestly, Lynn, I really do appreciate it. I'm just like, like I said earlier, it's like a weird paradigm. Like, on the one hand, I totally agree with you. Like, it's my time to step away. And I think that level of self-understanding is so rare in our military that so many people like don't know when it's their time to walk away. but it's really fucking hard. Gripes go up, not down. Exactly. Day one stuff. 2 things. Can the kid understand all animals, or just frankly, Grandpa Buff needs a date with a tiny plane and be kind of like 6'7" dude and a 5'1" girl. So as soon as I get Mrs. Linecrosser to play a plane, obviously Buff is going to have the hots for it. That's happening. Just got to get Mrs. Linecrosser to do it. And the kid can only understand Franklin as of right now. I don't know. I'm about to touch America's boat. On the list of shit I would recommend you do, that is not on there. Just want you to know that. Have I ever explored political science? Much of it explains geopolitics perfectly. I have not, actually. Once I'm out of the military and I have a little bit more free time, I do plan on enrolling in college. I don't know if it'll be for anything like that. More or less, it'll probably be history, because I've always had I've been a real big fan of history. I think I missed your response to my chat. Had to go offline for a bit. Thought Fat Files video on Redstone and the Space and Rocket Center. So I did. Yeah, you did miss it. I've been there before, the Space and Rocket Center, well, at least the museum. Fucking awesome. Awesome. You have 2 full-size Saturn Vs there. Like, that's fucking gangster. I love every bit of that. And I've been down to Redstone before. The Hooters down there is okay. I'm one of those guys, like, I go to the Hooters for the food. Their burgers are pretty good. Everyone's like, their wings are good. Their wings are trash. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Hooters wings are trash. Too much vinegar. Fight me. But their burgers are pretty good. So our counter battery radars also have air surveillance capacity. Is this common? Our Israeli ELM, which be integrated with David's Sling network. So, yes. Yes. Counter battery radars regularly have air surveillance capacity. However, counter battery radars are specifically designed to detect small projectiles with a low parabolic trajectory. HIMAD or short-range air defense radars are designed to pick up things with a higher parabolic trajectory or low observable or fast movers. Like, we just different filters in different places. Now, you guys don't have it yet unless you're Polish, which I think you're Finnish. Based off of the flag, I think that's Finland. I could be fucking wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I'm not great at other countries' flags. I'm so sorry. Now, with IBCS coming online for the United States, IBCS is an integration of all of our sensors together. So Patriot sees what the Sentinel sees, what the Q-53 sees, what the Tippy-2 sees, what Aegis sees, what fucking GMD sees, what SBX sees, like boom, boom, boom. Everything is networked together. And they're all through Link 16, so you get immediate Link ID. So like it's really good. And right now, as far as I know, Poland is the only country that has bought into that. Bow to the Finns. I respect the Finns for what they do. Doing more with less, I will give credit where credit is due. Just like in the same way that I talk about Canada's war crimes, I will absolutely talk about the White Death. Like, that's something Finland has that no one, at least so far, has been able to take away. You have the White Death. That is yours. See, I hope I pronounced this right. Simo Hayaya, or Haya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Simo. That is something Finland will have forever. At least until somebody beats it. Hello from Chicago. Hello. Alcoholism is on the left. Depression is on the right. Be careful you don't trip and fall into any feelings. Welcome to the shit show. Breaking news. Iran now testing new state-of-the-art camel mounted. I thought it was real news for a second. I saw camel mounted. Fuck it. Anti-aircraft system. Cam pads. Please tell me this is satire. I hope it is. With camel mounted radar array. Trump responding with U.S. bison mounted system and stupid escalation. Oh, that was funnier than it should have been. 1040 TV. Like, that's how it feels right now. Like, there's necessary spending and things that needs to happen. I love it. But that satire there, top tier 1040 TV. I fucking love it. Hope we can say the same for Seawolf. I need Franklin stuffed animal. Bro, I'm working on it tirelessly. Shit, I got to check that email from them. They sent me an email. I got that email, and oh my God. Guys, it's been a week. You know what I did? You know what I did today? I want you to know. We had a graduation of my students today. One of my students had a panic attack. That's neither here nor there. You know what I did? This is how little I give a fuck right now. I showed up to the graduation, not in my dress uniform, because fuck that. I don't even care anymore. I went into the back where they have the green room. I closed the door. I laid down on the couch and waited for the graduation to be over. And then when the graduation was over, I went and handled all the shit I actually had to do. Like, guys, I've been just, that's what this week has done to me. I gave the kid the keys to hangar doors. Don't worry, Franklin is supervising him. He'll be back soon. Sam's not going to get more Sam's not going to get more kills than me. Sam's not going to get more kills than me. Texas T, thank you so much. Wolframy deleted it, probably because it was political. It's okay, guys. I try not to get too political in here. And the reason I don't get political is because politics are inherently somewhat divisive. And I don't want to be divisive. I don't want to make you feel like this is someone that is preaching to you. I will tell you the truth in every aspect of the matter. I made satire about the previous administration. I'm going to make satire about the current administration because my moral compass guides me in different directions. Your moral compass guides you in different directions. And I respect that. There are people out there who adamantly disagree with me, but guess what? I would give my last breath to defend their ability to disagree with me. That's just the way that my brain works, because I want you to have the freedom of speech. LaRue, what is up? I just noticed you were in here, buddy. Here, we're going to give you some horns. General Zero Hour. Oh, do I got a story for you about General Zero Hour? Played it all the time. I wish they would make a modern day sequel to the game. You are not wrong. I fucking love that game. Manas, Kyrgyzstan. I was on my way into Afghanistan. They had a little place called Shooters. LaRue remembers it. We go into before we go into Afghanistan, and Shooters had a LAN network of computers, and all those computers had Command and Conquer generals. So, Command and Conquer generals, we were playing that, and all of a sudden, they were like, Long, you're really good at this. Let's play against each other. I'm a fucking TISM nerd when it comes to real-time strategy, and I was like, all right, cool, we'll try it. I don't know if I'll win. Like, I'm not great, but I love it. And so 8 was the biggest map, so a 7v1. And they're like, we're going to build for 20 minutes. Someone start a timer. Okay. And we built and built and built and built and built. And they got through 3 out of my 7 layers. I mean, they made a good hole. Like, honestly, further than I thought they would be. I'm not talking shit. And then I did my counterattack. And it was one of those, like, click, drag, because you can only select so many units. Send, click, drag, send, click, drag, send, click, drag, send. So, like, all there was a blob. Because I found an area of the map where nobody was. So they were looking to see if I was stockpiling, and they didn't see any tanks or anything, so they thought I wasn't stockpiling. It's because I was stockpiling in an area of the map where nobody was. And I sent everything I had. And then it froze, and I crashed the entire LAN network. So I did what I could, but I love Command & Conquer Generals. I still have it on my Steam right now. Can I get your honest thoughts on the annexation of Canada rhetoric coming out of DC? It's got a lot of us very pissed off, and why is your anthem being booed up here? So, they're booing the anthem from what I understand, and this is from my Canadian followers. They're booing the anthem not necessarily because they hate Americans, but because they don't like being treated poorly and being told they're going to get annexed. Which is rightly so. I'd be pissed off as a Canadian too. Right? If Canada was like, we're going to annex the USA, like, Americans would be like, I wish a motherfucker would. Like, so I get it. I totally understand it. My feelings on Canada being the 51st state, realistically, Canada is stronger as an ally than they are as a member of the United States. And here's why I believe that. Canada, because their budget is separate from ours, they have their own focuses and their own goals. Canada right now, under Trudeau's leadership, at least in my personal opinion, doesn't necessarily have a strong military. And I believe that most Canadians would agree with that. Now, Canadians, however, are very proud people, rightfully so. That being said, I think that if Canada got somebody else in charge and really focused more on their military and kind of toeing the line there, Canada would be an absolute powerhouse and a phenomenal ally to have the United States. I don't think that the annexation of Canada is ever going to become a reality. I genuinely don't believe so. It could be a negotiation tactic, albeit a very... I don't agree with it under any stretch of the imagination. So I think Canada's better as an ally than they are as a member of the United States, personally. This is a bit depressing. I'm sorry, what works? I'm trying to stay on it. Dude, on the topic of museums and cool shit, you ever been to Wallops Island? I've never even heard of Wallops Island. I will have to check it out. We have about 9 minutes until my special guests arrives. Jesus lives. I'm actually really confused about that. Like, I'm not a very religious person. I'm not trying to be a smartass here either. So like, Jesus died for our sins, right? Like, that's what the book says. I get it. Totally understand that. But then he rose 3 days later. And then what happened? Like, no one talks about it after that. How long did he live? Like, this is information I don't know. And I'm not being a smartass. Like, I'm curious. I've always been kind of curious. Like the Prophet Muhammad. I want to know about how the dude lived. I don't know anything about that. I'm like, for me, I always approach something with curiosity before I'm judgmental. Like, that's just the person that I've always been. Like, I want to know before I make fun of it. Someone said they think he disappeared like a month and then he rose to heaven. Is that really, like, I'm not being a smartass. Is that really what happened? Oh, he ascended. Okay, so several people are saying it. See, I didn't know that. That's something I didn't know. French citizen here. I'm appalled. You talking about the Canada or the Canada thing? I think France. So France has a rich history. Now we make jokes about I make jokes about the French. I absolutely make jokes about the French, about the whole like surrender mentality. Like we get it. I totally understand that. The reason I make those jokes is realistically World War II. In World War II, France had a far stronger military than Germany. Like at the start of the war, France's military was leaps and bounds. Like France had the strongest military in Europe, but they were caught off guard by a blitzkrieg. So I make that joke. But I also believe that France is an integral part. Like after doing my USA versus NATO series, I realized that the big contenders in NATO is the US, Turkey's kind of a frenemy, France, United Kingdom, and then of course Poland. And not in any specific order. I'm just kind of like throwing them in there. Honestly, if I was going to order them, I'd probably say US, Poland, just because Turkey is, I don't trust Turkey. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't trust Turkey. I don't trust Hungary. It's my own personal opinion. And then I would say Poland, not right this second Poland, but in the next 2 years, Poland. And then I would say probably France, and then the UK. And the only reason I put France above it is because they have the only other, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Cato bar, I don't know if I'm saying that right, carrier other than the United States. So I always try and be curious before I make any judgments. Correct. Finland, those lacking wisdom are welcome to discover themselves in a Finnish forest. Simo set the example among many. I saw a meme way back when. It was fucking hilarious. It's like when you ask a Russian to spot the sniper, and it was a picture of a Finnish forest in snow, and every single picture was selected. And I found that way funnier than I should have, but it was fucking great. France knows how to do military. I absolutely agree. I think that France, so there are some things that I really agree with, like Europe taking care of themselves and the US gradually drawing back our level of involvement. I get it. But if you want to just pull the United States, you leave Europe open to attack and you leave our allies really pissed off. But like a gradual swap out to like let the US kind of relax for a little while, I'm here for it. I'm absolutely fucking here for it. France has proven through history they're more than capable of defending themselves. Poland is arming up to the teeth. They are capable of defending themselves. Finland has held their own in the fucking I want to say the Russia-Finland war, but
would you intercept me?
Fucking.
I'd intercept me.
Yeah,
there
right?
is a book called The Lost Books of the Bible.
Really? Now I may have to read that. So a lot of our allies have proven they're very capable on their own. It's just for so long the United States has like needed that involvement. Germany, I mean, they took over most of Europe. They've proven that they can handle themselves militarily. So drawing back U.S. involvement and allowing them to take control, I will always back 100%. It's their country. We should always help them. But we also got from the other side of things, we also got a bad taste in our mouth because we trained the Afghans for 22 years, 21 years. And what happened? As soon as we left, they folded like a lawn chair. So naturally the U.S. has some apprehension. And I get that. I'm going to still get political up in this bitch. Ham and pineapple on pizza is goated. No, it's not. You Asklor, you know what? Mod ban him. I'm just kidding. Don't ban him. But like, I disagree adamantly with pineapple on pizza. You can be political, just be fair and honest. That's what I try and always do, man. Like and I'm willing to be wrong. I'm always willing to be wrong. I encourage people to prove me wrong. And it's not like a negative thing. It's not like a Charlie Kirk, like, prove me wrong. It's not Charlie Kirk, it's somebody else. Chowder, I think. Crowder. But I genuinely, like, people look so down on someone who changes their opinion. They're like, oh, you didn't stick to your guns. Why? People learn new information all the time. Changing your opinion is a good thing. I hate it, like the slam pieces that politicians do against each other. In the 1980s, he said this. Yeah, people can change their fucking opinion. Like, it's a good thing because they learn new information and make new decisions based off of the relevant information that they know. 3 minutes until my guest gets here. Go on Weird Bible Podcast with Wendigo and you'll have a blast. I would love to. I don't know enough about the Bible and I feel really bad. I don't know if I'm prepared. Wendigo is a great guy, by the way. Super nice guy. I'd never met him before, but I was sitting there when he was on the last Unsub podcast. And it really, really nice guy. Wasn't a political question. Your lefty mods interpreted as political. What's more evil, world police and sugar daddy, or we fix your stuff here? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. And honestly, I feel bad for any American president. Whether it was Biden, Trump, Obama, Bush, I feel bad for them. Because they have to make decisions every single day that, number one, cost lives. And number two, can potentially end the planet. So I feel really bad for them regardless. Thank you so much for saying your piece in the last video. I've always thought you were sensible. Today you proved it beyond any doubts. Thank you so much, Adam. I really appreciate it, man. Like, honestly, you guys... Like, I was so fucking scared to post that video today. I was like, I'm about to be canceled. They're going to rip me apart. And to see people who were level-headed and equally understanding, even if they disagreed with my opinion, was so wonderful. Like, it was such a good feeling. They're like, hey, we can have a differing opinion, but I respect yours as long as you respect mine. And bro, that is the healthiest shit I have ever seen in a comment section on social media. I was so happy to see that. Like, I was like, I didn't want to open it. And my missus actually texted me. She was like, hey, have you read your comments? And I was like, no. She's like, it's actually really good. People are having like constructive conversations. And I was like, wait, really? And like, I went in there and I was blown away by you guys. Like, you are phenomenal human beings. I have never been so happy to like read the comment section because you guys were like, again, even if you have adamant disagreements with the opposition, you guys were having constructive discourse with one another. And like, bro, you guys, I don't know if you realize how rare that is nowadays. People want to just ostracize and demonize each other instead of listening to one another and trying to understand the situation and come to an amicable solution. I was so fucking proud of you guys today. I was so unbelievably proud of y'all today. Like, you have no idea. Like, you guys killed it. I've Twitch but never used it. No, you're right. And the only reason I kept it around is because eventually, once I'm out of the military, I do plan on like streaming some video games. Because why the hell not? Just go hang out over there and stream some video games with the guys. To a pagan, the story about Jesus sounds more like a 3-day hangover in your 30s. Either that or every Finn is Jesus. Fucking Finns. Now I want to party. Now I want to party with Finns. I really do. I've never partied with Finns. I've never partied with Polish. I really, really want to party with the Polish, the Finns. And then for just, neutral purposes, I want to go to the Finns. Or not the Finns, the Swedish. I want to see. But I want to ask you, since we have Finns in here, do you party harder than Sweden? I need to know this. Like, if you're Swedish in here, we may need to, know the alternate. I should apply to work at the Babylon Bee. I'm not, like, I know, aren't they satire? They're satire, right? Please look at the chat, my previous chat. It has my responses to your question. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. There's a book called The Lost Books of the Bible. I need to look into that. I've always, again, and I encourage you guys to be this way. I want you always to be curious before anything else. Be curious, and there are some people that you're curious with. There's a lot of people, probably 80 to 90%, that you'll be curious about. And they're like, okay, you hear them out. I want to hear your opinion on this. Please tell me. And they start speaking their opinion. And you notice a couple of like things that you know not to be true. And you're like, okay, I understand and I receive that information. These are my sources. This is why I believe this way. And I want you to understand something. There's a difference between weak-minded individuals and strong-minded individuals. By the way, Mrs. Linecrosser, send up the guest. Strong-minded individuals will always come at you with receipts and empathy and understanding. Oh shit, here she is. Here she is. Muhammad was a caravan robber and a kid dealer, married a 6-year-old, consummated when she was 9. He was 50, died from complications a few years after being poisoned by a woman whose family ended. I don't know all the full details on the Prophet Muhammad, and I'm not one who talks shit until I know. France's only sovereign nuclear force in the UE, M51 missile. I didn't know that. Chris Fox, thank you so much. I'm hoping, there we go. I got it. I'm trying to get caught up. What Muhammad has done is not YouTube appropriate. I've heard those things. I haven't read the full Quran myself. Obviously, you guys recognize this. This is my little sister. This is Sister Linecross. Did you put on makeup?
Yes, I did, because I didn't want to look like you.
I was going to talk shit, but that's fucked up. Should Beans on Toast rejoin the EU? I hope we do. I don't know if the EU has any tactical relevance to the UK. I really don't know. I know NATO does, but I don't know if the EU does. Dude, France is the only... Oh, yeah, we read that one already. Love your work. Funny history. Benedict Arnold. Boot monument. A statue of his severed leg because he lost it before he became a... Seriously? I don't know anything about Benedict Arnold. I know literally nothing. I think you're on the right track with this last vid, but off a bit. US can pull back on a large way without going full isolationist. Totally agree. Totally agree. The only reason I made it that way is because I think the US is being a little rash right here. And I think that if we do a gradual drawback and they do a gradual buildup, the world will be a safer place. Because now they're increasing their military capability while we're maintaining the same military capability, which means NATO is now a stronger force. Totally agree with you there. Totally. We are the HLC squadron. Hell yeah. Do a live show at the SAC Museum with the B-52. Where's the... Is SAC... Where's that?
SAC?
SAC Museum.
I don't know. My brain is like soup.
I'm a little toasty right now after those margaritas.
It's really hot in here.
No, the margaritas.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the one margarita.
I'd be giving some head. I'm sorry, never mind. I am in the military. I'm just saying. Had to show up to say hi to my bestie.
Hi.
Oh, Fox. Is that Foxy?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Foxy is one of the coolest dudes I have as a mod.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Foxy showed up and so the running joke there is Foxy showed up and I was like, cool, bro, whatever. And like, she was like, I'm a girl. So now like the running joke is that Foxy's a dude. That's it. Mm-hmm. Sister HLC is here, sweet. I gotta pee. So sister, hey, Swedes are a bit more prim and proper managerial types, but some of them know how to party. I'll give them that. Also, our partying is more about the drinking and less about the conversations. I'm gonna go to Europe and I want to party with Finns and Polish.
Oh, absolutely, I'm down.
I like that's kind of where I'm at mentally. It's not a war crime the first time. That's from De Gaulle. FR is what's that word? Insupendent on nukes?
Independent. Is that like independent but dependent?
I don't know. Words are hard. Guys, I'm a little toasty right now. I've been drinking margaritas. Oh, Strategic Air Command, Omaha. Oh, Nebraska.
What?
I haven't been to Nebraska since we were kids.
Yeah.
It was like 105 and humid. It's gross.
It was awful.
Quran equals teaching of Muhammad. Hadith is stories of Muhammad's life. Okay. I've read parts of the Bible, not super well versed in. I've read parts of the Torah. I've read parts of the Quran. I think the only one I've never read into is like Buddhism. I don't really know much about Buddhism.
I thought they were just really happy people.
I mean, it seems like they don't really worship a god. It's more like a path to self-enlightenment. I don't really know. Sister Linecrosser is obviously very smart. You should get some makeup tips from her.
You would look great.
I would look great?
Yeah.
I would look like a drag queen.
And they look great.
Ginger long.
Because he can't say what he normally used to call me.
What did he used to call you?
I can't say it.
Hold on, I'm going to mute this. Fair enough. You definitely did not say that.
Thanks, man. I miss you, Red Rod.
Can I submit a super chat in my expense report? No. I mean, maybe you can claim anything on taxes. Did you know apparently in 2025 you can claim pets on your taxes? Like at the end of the 2025, yeah, I guess the law just changed. I've been hearing videos about it. I haven't looked into it yet, but apparently pet expenses can now be claimed on taxes.
Like just regular stuff, or
I don't know. I mean, she's about to go, under the knife on Monday.
it's okay.
Rain, you're gonna flatline. You're not.
Wow! Don't talk so much smack on my dog. Why are you treating her like the redheaded
Would you intercept me?
stepchild?
Oh my god!
I'd intercept me.
The F-14 and Patriot
Patriot
are
are
as
both-
overrated as WPNS 175 is old and grumpy. That's
reading
it. That's the super chat.
He's saying the F-14 and Patriot are as overrated as weapons and old and grumpy. That's it. Okay, Gappers. You woke up this morning and chose chaos, didn't you? You chose violence. Why are you up here, Knox?
He just had to say that.
You can give him a goat milk cookie. That's what he wants. You can tell him to speak.
Well, hold on. Isn't it like the point of your camera?
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh god. Creamy.
Independent on nukes. Oh shit. I'm nukes. You dork love from FR. Where's FR? Is that a country? Is that Florida?
FR?
Is FR? I'm guys like.
FL. That's Florida.
Fuck.
You went to public school, but obviously it failed you. I didn't think to blow up.
I like missiles. You know what? I had a student this cycle. He was like, yeah, he's that way about guns the way you are about missiles. And I was like, I never tismed out in class. It's France. Okay, I'm fucking retarded. And obviously not geography. And it, like he said it, and on like a little bit of me was like, yeah, missiles. And then the rest of me was like, fuck. Like he never told me he watched my videos. Habitual line crosser becomes habitual crossdresser. We're not wearing the pink tutu this time. We're not doing it.
You just got to work the makeup. That's all they're saying.
Yeah, you should get makeup tips for the next time the maid costume comes out. Oh, I don't know if the maid costume will come out while I'm here. Like, this is the thing. It's funny. So I wore that costume. You guys made memes out of it, which is fine. I'm not mad about the memes or anything like that. Like,
I sent them in the family chat, and they didn't Mom loved it.
Yeah, so
Mom loved
it's great.
Yeah.
But some guy I disagreed with on Twitter was like, diss you. Thinking like he had me because I was wearing a pink tutu, and I was like, bro, I look fucking bomb in that shit, and I'm still right. Like, bro, you're not gonna hurt my fucking feelings, but I don't want that shit at work. Like right now, once I'm out, I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. Welcome back, Sister Line Crosser. Glad you're feeling better. Fair winds, tin can sailor from a cruiser deck 8.
Ah, thanks.
What's a cruiser?
Ticonderoga,
right?
Yeah. And then deck 8 is BM, boatsman's mate.
Oh, aren't those like, and I'm not talking shit, but aren't boatswain's mate like the lowest ASVAB scores in the Navy?
It used to be, but now they're adding some of the engineer ones because you either kill yourself or get out as an engineer.
They're learning like the TISM.
Yeah.
Like we can't pass fucking exam. Like air defenders, we like our ASVAB score. It should be much higher. It's not good. But then, like, you put us in the van and we're like, missiles, tactics, kinematics.
But you just need someone to, like, stare at stuff for a really long time, and that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lily
Would you intercept me?
Said, here for the
I'd
cheap
intercept
makeup.
me.
I can't wait
Here.
for Halloween.
For the cheap makeup. I can't wait for Halloween now.
Would you intercept me? I'm going to start putting on the makeup. Yeah.
You could be, like, the Mr. Clean dude.
I could be the Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Been a little while since I've watched Live Friday show. Did you ever take Sister to Fogo de Chao? I did not take you to Fogo de Chao, but I took you to ramen.
Mm-hmm.
Where else? We did ramen. We did bingsu twice. Twice bingsu.
Yes.
I think I bought you like lunch and I treated, and we got you a hair appointment, right?
Yeah, I have a hair appointment. Yeah, so it's coming up.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be able to drive myself to the hair appointment, so big deal.
I took care of it. I passed on all the good stuff.
All the good vibes.
RuPaul edition. Oh God.
That'd be good. You can walk in heels. I know you can.
I can, yeah, because I'm a talented bitch.
Yeah, there you go.
Choosing chaos, grab a big bowl, mix plain M&Ms, regular Skittles, and Reese's pieces. Watch the world burn.
I'll eat it with a straight face.
Yeah, that's like the best way to shut somebody up. Is like they hand you something fucked up, just
I'll eat it with a straight face. Don't care.
yeah. Hey, I almost forgot. My buddy years ago took part in a mechanized exercise where he taught American tankers how to drive a tank in the forest, and they picked up new command barrel back the hard way. I'm not even. Oh, I bet he's talking. So like you flip the gun around backwards so you don't fucking bend the gun, which is the thing. It's a real thing.
It bends?
Well, in heat and like, so one of my buddies was in Iraq and they had to replace part of their barrel shroud because they had the gun over the side and they were driving down the road and taking out telephone poles and didn't realize they were knocking them down. So that makes sense. In the forest, it makes perfect fucking sense. The good news is like people like, oh, Abrams is good on ice. They're not good on ice. Snow and mud, they're actually really good because they're so fucking heavy, 72 tons. They just sink to the bottom and drive on the dry part.
Would you intercept me?
Okay.
I'd intercept
Super
me.
chat if,
Sir,
Sir,
I know you
did
say
not.
did not follow people blindly. Check your sources and don't give out
but
bad
I appreciate
information.
what you do.
But I appreciate what you do and what you say to spread information that is true, honest, and just across the world. Thank you for what you do.
I appreciate it, Trip, and I'm okay with reasonable disagreements. I know I can't get everything perfect, and anyone out there who's on the internet who like is just an absolutionist and like I know everything there is to know about everything. I totally agree with that. My mom was in chat.
Yeah, mom's watching.
Mom's watching.
She called me before I got on and was like, "How do I do this?"
Did you send a link to
Everyone.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Here for the cheap makeup. Can't wait for Halloween now. GSM2 long makes.
I used to take this choker and put it on Red Rod. Do you want to wear it? I think he'd look great. I think you would look great, bro.
Doesn't that mean like that I have first place in like wiener eating or something?
If that's how dudes claim that as it is, but
It's not shrinking back down.
yeah, well, you know, it went over our big heads.
My big coconut. Less than hair, bitch. God damn, that hurt my fucking ear. Ow! Fuck. Oh, god damn. Ugh.
Too bad you can't put the earrings on and everything.
I still have holes from. I don't know if you guys know this. I used to have double zeros in both ears before I enlisted.
Do you want to?
I might. Let me see. I know the left one will fit. I know the left. Fuck it.
The left one will fit.
The left one will fit. Hold on. Let's. This is going to be in the meme channel. Hold on. The right one, I don't know if it'll still go through.
I don't know if that. Yep. There you go. You look so good.
You know what? I was clipping.
Do you want to take the hat off and put my headband on?
No, I don't. I just looked up the maid outfit and I was scared for life.
You look really good though.
I'm a sexy bitch.
I'm really impressed.
I'm a sexy bitch. HLC or USA versus X has always been super interesting. Do you have plans to add USA versus Ireland on the list? The answer is clear, but I'm still interested in hear your analysis. So the one I just recorded one, my editor is working on it. I'm hoping to release it this weekend. Fingers crossed if he's done. If he is, I will absolutely no. I'm not keeping the choker on. LaRue is in here. You know LaRue's in here, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, LaRue just saw that. He's like, do what to keep going? So every country, every nation, every like weird thing out there, Star Wars, Star Trek, it's all on the table. It's just a matter of like what, especially relevance. You know, like if a country's relevant, I noticed that kind of gets a little bit more traction. So Donald McKinnon, thank you so much. Clip it, screenshots. Like, oh God. Oh man.
Yep.
Don't
McKinnon was you took the tour of his.
Oh, that was McKinnon.
Yeah, the
is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, from JSM. Your boy, I miss you. Need your expertise for this dry talk.
Yeah, he called me earlier and was like, "Did we ever wrap up this? Did we tag out that?" I'm like, I don't know.
Bro, I just work here.
Yeah.
He showed me all around the boat. Honestly, Donald McKinnon, good dude. Showed me all around the boat.
He's another GSM2.
Probably showed me some things I wasn't supposed to see, but it's okay. I have a clearance. And walked me all over the boat, and I was like, "What's that? What's that? How does that work? How does that like?" I'm one of those weird TISM people. So he definitely, honestly, answered all my questions, and I was throwing him some serious curveballs there. Good dude. Showed me around the ship. Really, really great guy. Don't worry, you're the prettiest. I'm the prettiest princess in the chat. I dig the jewelry. All you're missing is cat ears and a bow. I do have cat ears. No, yeah. Weapons is so old he loaded Maverick missiles into pterodactyls. Jesus.
How do you load them? Do you?
Well, so from my vast experience loading weapons onto aircraft, because obviously I'm better at it than weapons. His name is Weapons, but I did weapons, on top of being Patriot and Special Forces, like the special forces, okay? Anyways, so what you do is you put it up there, and then you put a pin in it. And then
do you give it a shake? That's gonna stay.
You also, it's a requirement. You have to say that's not going anywhere. Requirement.
Got it.
Especially white dudes mainly.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
And
do you ever smack it?
No, don't smack it. Don't smack it because they're kinetic. And then the pilot, you run a string to the cockpit that he closes in the hatch, and when he wants to drop a missile, he just pulls the string. He has them labeled. There's like little wooden handles on the end, and he's like, missile 1. Missile 2.
Do you ever put streamers inside of there? So like,
just confetti in the cock. Pull it. All right, I'm gonna get you. Poof. God, I would get fired real fucking quick. Oh man, smack it. Russia be like. Oh man. While I have my disagreements with your latest video, it doesn't subtract from the funny, phenomenal content you produce. Keep doing what you do, HLC. Zenacity, I encourage people to disagree with me. And I said that earlier in here. If you weren't in here, that's perfectly fine. I want people to make critical decisions based off of the relevant information and the morals that they have. Like, that's kind of the way that my brain works, is like, I want you to be smart about things. So if you don't agree with me, I agree with you. Hell yeah, let's do it. But why? Like, that's like my brain. Like, that's how it works. Weapons, here we go. To be honest, Trump presidency sounds like Freebird, but it's Michael Sardou all over again. I don't know. There is some great things that he's been doing, right? Like, there's some things that I absolutely agree with. Oh my God, it's HLC sister. I love you, HLC sister. Remrad, let me help out here. I got you. So her size is a Porsche Carrera. That's what size she wears, right? You wear a Porsche Carrera?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Her shoe size is a private jet. Let's go with G6 or better. Let me see her. But here's the thing. If you get too interested, she's gonna get disinterested. So you got to play hard to get. Whoa! What do you mean? What?
It's slightly hard to get.
Yo,
I don't like to work too hard,
Oh my God. Oh man, someone said 5 minutes with sister line crossers got a choker and earrings. That's fair. Smacking ordinance resulted in many safety briefs. I suppose you can probably do it with your hand, but not the ball peen hammer. Have you guys ever looked at a ball peen hammer and you're like, this is a ball peen hammer? Like, we know what a ball peen hammer looks like, and we know one side is the ball. Why is the other side called the peen? I don't have a joke for this.
I was like...
I don't know. Weapons. Oh yeah, weapons. Put that in there. Also, we got some photos for you. Oh God.
Good.
Boy, those are expensive sizes because it makes the ping noise. Yes. Because the peen is mightier than the sword. Dating service announcement now also. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
Shades of Looney Tunes with the gremlin hammering the bombs with Bugs Bunny. I don't think the other side is called the peen, bud. That's just you. Peening is what you do with it. I've heard of strawberrying metal. I've done that.
Strawberrying a metal?
Yeah.
How do you strawberry metal?
So like if you are putting together like a ball joint,
Yeah.
and it's like a little bit loose because your U-bolts are a little bit like warped or old or something like that, you can take the end of it and you can put a punch on it and you can hit it a few times around the edge, and it's called strawberrying the metal. And what it does is expand the end of it, so when you tighten down the U-bolts, it sits in there solid.
I feel like there could have been a way better term for that.
That's what I'm tracking. It's called. Somebody in here is gonna be like, I'm a metal worker. I've been doing it since 1902. That's not strawberrying. That's pencil fucking or something. Some weird noise. I don't know. I'm here for it. I think that's 140 millimeter main cannon. Wait, who is this with the 140? To peen something made of metal. Dimples, like on a strawberry. Is that what it is? I thought it was called pinging. finesse at its finest. I mean, we just go with what is it? Percussive maintenance.
Yes,
Percussive
absolutely.
maintenance. There's a voice for a character. Listen here, you motherfuckers. We called it swedging. You know, I need another drink. I might. I gotta pee. I'm gonna skedaddle. It was nice seeing you. Cool, long internet brother. That's you.
I love you.
That's you. Did HLC get his Borderlands tattoo? Yes, it's not done yet. I have one of, if not the last, on the 7th of March.
I haven't even seen it, so you know.
You haven't seen my leg?
No. You've been wearing pants, thankfully, the whole time I've been here.
Well, I guess that means that we're not from Alabama.
Isn't there like a do?
Do I have a button? Hold on. What is it? Nope, that doesn't work. Nope, that didn't work. Nope, that didn't work. Oh, it's applause.
I mean, hey, thanks, parents, for not being from Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The voice sounds like a tank. You know, that actually might be the goal.
There you go.
Thank you so much for making the last video. We need more people like you to step up and speak the truth and not get lost in the sauce. Also, the kid's going to be happy with Alex Holling's last video. I haven't seen it yet. Alex is a good friend of mine. Really, really good guy. Alex is super level-headed. I don't know if you guys saw the video Preston Stewart made about like everything that's going on. Preston Stewart is a good friend of mine. Really good guy. He's a captain in the reserves. Awesome dude. And he had a very level-headed, comprehensive look at like some of the statements that were made. And I think it was really well worded. We better get a Seahawk in a video coming up. Well, are we getting a Seahawk?
Did you hurt your neck on that one?
A little bit.
It looked like it hurt.
My earphone also moved.
I'm down to clown.
Down to clown?
Yeah.
The
Because it's a Seahawk.
I fucking hate you with every fiber of my being. With every little bit. Fuck. I'm gonna call mom to abort you now. 30 years old. She's gonna fucking abort you. What are my thoughts on the South Korean military and their equipment? There is some very, very good equipment. The K2 PL, or not PL, that's the Polish version. The K2, the K9, the Black Panther, like all really, really good equipment. What I haven't seen South Korea excel in is the aviation category. They do have some good planes and they have a decent number of them. But last I checked, South Korea was also being interested in the F-35 program. I don't know if that ever took flight, so to speak. Don't make fun of Alabama so much. We designed IBCS. Hold on, Mr. Bully. Hold on.
Okay.
I worked on IBCS for 4 years. That's not a compliment, okay? It's better now than it was, but we're not there yet. Northrop had a bad habit of hiring people who were like engineers and knew how to do like the code, but they have no idea why things are supposed to be in places. And that was the first time in my life I've ever been in a room with people who had PhDs, and I felt like the smartest person because they weren't tacticians, they were engineers. So, but I also know as a tactician, I couldn't fucking code. Listen, Michael Sardou, Les Lax du Connemara, French community rise up, and thank you HLC. So he wants me to listen to that? Michael, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with a lot of that stuff. Supa, Pictave. I'm gonna have to check into it. I'll check it out. I don't know. Seahawk tour.
What?
Yeah, you know, you have to get famous by saying Hawk Tua, and then you have to do a rug pull on people who buy your fucking coin.
Is that your angle?
Have you not seen that girl, the Hawk Tua girl?
I thought she just got famous like off one little thing, and then I haven't seen anything of it.
Yeah, no. So originally she was raising money for charity, which I'm all for.
Mm-hmm.
But she made like a meme coin, like the Hawk Tua coin.
Yeah,
like a crypto.
Not an actual coin.
No, like a crypto.
Got it.
And it like came out and it climbed and then it fucking collapsed.
Oh. Well, maybe she's got a Hawk Tua in real life or something then to stay famous, relevant.
Also, Mrs. Linecrosser wanted to remind us of this. This is from me and Sister Linecrosser. Mom, since you're in chat, we love you very much. We know you've had a heck of a week. Also, your birthday this week. It's like, what, her 30-something anniversary of her 29th birthday?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So happy late birthday to Mama Line Crosser out there. Thank you so much for being here. We both want to say hello. Normally, this is the part where I'd like, oh, and I'd hit her in the leg because it would be funny. But now it might kill her. So I don't, because she's not fully healed yet. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The ball is the peen.
The ball is the peen?
That's not aborting now, just murder. They had words, actions, or what matter. Happy birthday, yes, to HLC Mom. It was like her 37th birthday of her 29th birthday? 37th anniversary of her 29th birthday.
Never math in public.
I don't math in public. Listen, there's two things you don't ask an air defender. Read, write, or math, all right? 2 things.
Yep.
That checks out. Think of the content. Oh my God. Bro, it's her 31st birthday. What are you talking about? Wait, HLC's mom is 37? Sure, yeah, we'll go with that. HLC's mom is also single. For any of you guys out there that want to mingle.
She's willing to be a cougar.
She's willing to be a cougar.
That's fine.
She only has some basic requirements.
Have a job?
Don't be a fuckface. That's the thing. It's kind of a...
you can't have any kids younger than her youngest.
Yeah.
And I'm in my 30s, so...
Yeah.
Did you just fart?
Oh, I did. It felt great. My tummy feels so much better. Oh, it's bad. Oh my God. Ha! I pulled a Knox on you, you fat shit. I love that dog, but God, he's so gross. So
I learned it from you.
I have a challenge. Well, I did previously. I had a challenge coin. I need to make some new ones, but I'm waiting until I'm out of the military to go do the challenge coins. I really, really want to do it. Tell her, let's go, baby girl. I'm 37. I got you, boo boo. Hey, Ma, you got a 37-year-old in here. Wants to be your sugar daddy.
We're talking about our mom.
Yeah, our mom.
So, you know.
Does she have money? I don't know. How do we answer that?
I mean, she does well.
She's financially responsible. Yeah, she's financially responsible.
Yeah, that's hard to get nowadays.
HLC wants a new daddy. I will no. You should go pee. Let's see what unsupervised sister line crosser has to offer. Let me read this one, and then I will go pee. If Putin decides the military poke European NATO countries, should Europe have confidence in the U.S. moral obligations, both their constitution and their friends and allies? Given the current state of events, and I'm not being facetious here, guys. God, this is really hard to say, and I fucking hate saying it. Given that the U.S. hasn't held up our end of the bargain in protecting Ukraine after they denuclearized in the something agreement, I looked it up. I can't remember what the hell it's called. As a member of NATO, I would not feel confident that the U.S. is going to come to your rescue if you are attacked. And I hate saying that. That bothers the shit out of me. Oh man. Like, I'm not a warmonger, but like we should really like.
So someone asked, does having teeth have to be one of the requirements for mom?
Actually, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm gonna leave you in here unsupervised.
What do I do?
If you have to take the mouse
Do
and
I
scroll,
put it on like this?
you can. If you have to scroll up or scroll down or anything like
Does
that,
it matter which one?
I would read this one. This one's the most up to date. This one's, but this one goes back further. So if you have to stay back, more limp-handed with Putin.
Go pee. Don't hurt yourself.
Okay.
You know,
you better not sit in my lazy boy.
You're old and your bladder's so tiny and you might hurt yourself.
I had margaritas, you freaking.
You're the princess. Hi everyone.
Yeah,
I am. I'm the sister. Hi. Got a hubby and 6 cats. Well, good for you for having 6 cats. Could not understand having 6 cats, let alone 6 dogs. So yeah. But hi, yay! What is this? Yeah, my streaming career is starting just now. So, but for everyone that has been following me on any of the things that I have, and I know my brother has put out there that I was in a motorcycle accident not too long ago. Clearly, you see, I'm doing a little bit better. I'm walking and everything, but I'm dealing with a lot of stuff mentally, and I'm still dealing with a lot of pain. But it was a big approval through a bunch of my doctors to come see my brother and see my dog and everything else like that. So I'm just happy to be here, and I'm glad I got you guys some laughs and everything. If I was your stepdad, I'd look you in the eye and tell you I'm proud of you, son. Oh my goodness. That's some intense stuff right there. You know.
Ooh, Knox. I never left.
Look. Some dude wants to just be your stepdad so he can say he's proud of you.
You son of a bitch. I'm in. Mom, get with the Finnish guy.
Oh my god.
They like snow. You don't want to move anywhere hot.
This money is... Oh, it's money for me.
I bought you dinner tonight and lunch.
But I'm your baby sister. You're supposed to take care of me.
I'm gonna drink bleach. Mama HLC, happy birthday. You must be so proud your son is making fake planes that talk and make mildly sexual innuendos.
That's awesome.
Your son has monetized multiple personality disorder. Congratulations.
Good job.
Yeah.
Oh, yay! $20.
Tell him he knows you another $10. God damn.
Thank you.
Listen, okay? Sister Line Crosser is going to be dog sitting for us for a little while. So she's going to get groceries and everything else she needs. She's going to be taken care of. And we're getting Rain a dental on Monday. Rain is getting...
Yes.
You know, she's gonna take a little nap and she's gonna wake up and her teeth are clean. Knox just got his teeth done. Come here.
And he got something removed from his chest and everything.
Look, his teeth are so clean. He's 11 years old. My old boy. That's my best bud.
He still licks his butt, so.
As he's licking my face.
He licks his wiener more often than his butt,
Fuck
so
you.
I'm just saying.
As a French, I have ASMP with our, I don't know how to say that plane, Raphael. I know what plane he's talking about, but I don't. And M51 missiles and Michael Sardou. I'm not familiar with Michael Sardou. That one I'm not familiar with. Now I'm going to have to look that up. ASMP. I'm also not familiar with that term. Who's sitting on the dog?
Oh, dog sitting.
Oh, yes. She's, so since we don't have any children, she's babysitting pooches.
Yes.
What country was the most competent when it came to warfare when you work with them? Ooh, that's a wonderful question. Honestly, and I'm not being a smartass, Sweden.
I'd like the next comment.
On behalf of all trash eaters, here's another 5 for habitual line sister.
Thanks.
Thoughts on Germany's military potential arms industries to produce products like the Iris T. The Iris T is a phenomenal lower tier system. Now, when I say lower tier, people automatically assume that I mean lower quality. No, lower tier is in reference to high shooters and low shooters. So like THAAD, Aegis, GMD
amazing.
are...
These would look good on you.
It's a 4K camera.
Like, this looks amazing. Look at these nails.
Anyways,
you should get some nails.
There are upper tier shooters and lower tier shooters. The Iris T is a phenomenal lower tier shooter. However, are you done?
Do you want this chair back?
No. Given the opportunity, we're at our 2 hours. We're done.
Oh, okay.
Given the opportunity to choose between Iris T and Patriot, I'm going to pick Patriot 9 times out of 10, just because of my history with it and simplicity of use. I don't know how simple the Iris T is to use. As a Ukrainian American, just wanted to say thanks for today's video, Igor. I genuinely, on a moral level, I know nobody is perfect. I know Ukraine is not perfect, but I genuinely believe that Ukraine is on the right side of history here, and that is my personal opinion. And I back that up with as much historical reference as I possibly can. So what we're going to do is, boom, you should hear something. Yeah. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are at our 2-hour mark. Thank you so much for joining me, Sister Line Crosser. So as always, do not give it a 22 a day. Every single one of you are amazing. If you'd like to support the channel, please go to officiallinecrosser.com.
I'd intercept me.
This money is for Sister Crosser. From one sailor to another sailor. This is drinking money for a case of beer or bottle.
Oh my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have yourself a wonderful evening. On behalf of myself and my co-host, Sister Line Crosser, thank you so much for being here. Oh, my music is so loud, according to Mrs. Line Crosser.
Yeah, it scared us down there.
Sorry.
We were watching it.
All right, HLC, do better. Sorry. All right, guys, I'll see you later. I'll catch you. Bye. You want to wave bye to everybody?
Bye. Hey.
What?
Is it still on?
Yeah.
Oh, just remember, you can't make a man love you, but you can make a man afraid of you, and that's a lot more entertaining.